So thank you, Shea, for allowing us to cover two quarterfinal matches here instead of only one.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
And so today the quarterfinal that we will be covering with Shea is the one between Team Team and 75% All In. Uh, and so right now, 75% All In was the the winner of Group C. No, it's Group B, sorry, with 6 wins, so they were undefeated, but all their games went pretty long. While Team Team is the number 2 seed from Group D with 4 wins. But the Group D wasn't that easy for them.
Yeah, this is going to be a close matchup because Ashton and Aviator are two top players, and but so are Robbie and Akaram.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a tight game. This is gonna be probably one of the closer games I would think for day one here.
Yeah, one of the closer game, I agree. But what do we expect here to see in this game? Because we do expect different playstyles from both those teams.
Yeah, I know. So the West team is going to be sending a lot and trying to scale for late game, and Robbie kind of does that a little bit too. But I know Acreum, or however you say his name, he tends to like to starve just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit, you mean? You mean quite a lot more than the average, right? They are uh, more of a surgical team. Like they want to spot the wave where they can leak the enemy a lot, and they're gonna save up until that point to try and get the massive lead through the leaks, and not necessarily through the scaling.
Yes, but
75% all in are more towards the scaling side, as you said, with a lot of income sense, and that's what they've shown in the group stage as well.
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if one of these income sends ends up breaking Robbie because he's really greedy, and that could change the entire game here.
Yeah, that could change the entire game. Okay, Archicum did disconnect and reconnected just to see if there was another room, but looks like everything is fine.
I think that's the key. I mean, Robbie likes to be greedy, but he also can't leak, and I think that's the key to this game.
Yeah, I mean, if you are able to long save without leaking, that might be the indication of how you are able to take the lead here for Archicum and Ruby. But if you're not able to make the Ashton and Aviator leak early or take a huge advantage early game, then in the mid game, pretty hard to leak Ashton and Aviator.
It's true, yeah. If this game goes over 15-16, definitely Ashton and Aviator are the favorites.
So yeah, so the players will be ready in about 30 seconds. So what are your predictions? Will it be a 2-1 for one of the team, or would it be a clean 2-0?
Yeah, I think Ashton's gonna take YOLO, and I think they're gonna lose a game.
Okay, so you're predicting a 2-1 at least, I presume?
Yeah,
And so that means that your two wins should be for Ashton and Aviator in the long run.
yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, they're gonna lose one. What are
So
your predictions?
I do think that if Roby and Archicum do go for a long save, it might work one time, but I don't think that they can heavily rely on this strategy every single time. I do think they need to mix it up and scale. If we don't see that, I don't see them taking it over Ashen and Aviator. So I do think it is indeed a 2-1 for Ashen and Aviator, but we can always be surprised. So everybody seems to be ready, so it looks like that we will be able to start this quarterfinal match very soon here. It all depends if Roby decides to start the game. But yeah, the early waves we're expecting a little bit more of income sense. Uh, yeah, yeah, we okay. Everybody can start now. We got to go, and Yeah, so more income sends towards the early game, 1, 2, 3, and then we probably see a long save from Robin or Kaikun. Um, but that's the thing that can hurt you as well. So we'll see exactly what will happen. But here we go. The game has started. We will talk about the Legion spells at first, while the players take their role, and I'll let you do that if you please.
Okay, so we got Savior, Embargo, and Pulverizer.
Yeah. So what do you expect to see with those Legion spells?
If Team 1 leaks, I think they might take Savior just to get up the King. We all know Ashton loves doing his King regen on level 1, so that might help him, but we might also see Team 2 here on the other side take Embargo because they like to do the longer saves and they might try to hit them, wave 14 or however it goes.
Yeah, I do think that Embargo is just perfect for the playstyle of Roby and Archivum, so I do think the Legion spells does favor them a little bit, but
Yeah.
I kind of have to say that if you have something that goes well with Pulverizer, you can pretty much counter the Embargo send here on wave 13 if you
Yeah.
see an opportunity.
And there is one good unit I see on Ashton's side that likes Pulverizer.
I see two. Can you spot them?
The Harpy, yeah. But Ashton going with the 5 worker start here.
Yeah, but there's not only the Harpy very strong with Polarizer on Ashen's side, there's also the Halo with the ramping up damage that is increased by the increased attack speed uh, from the Polarizer as well.
Yeah, and with the Steeds, it's good. So we got a Bounty, a Berserker, and a Zeus. And
Yeah.
no 20 send on Ashton.
Ooh.
And he's 5 worker, so we should see some interesting stuff happen on that lane. Everyone clears wave 1.
Yes, everybody will clear wave 1. We do have the typical bounty hunter start from Aviator. You really love that start, and he does scale very well with it. So it will be interesting to see how he does as well. Ruby with the Berserker slowing down the wave to allow our Kaikum save to be more efficient in the early game against Ashton. So I do think this choice of units is just very good for Team Team. But now we are in between. We do have the Snell in income here from Ashton, so the wave was long enough for him to get it. That's
And
the downside of going Berserker sometimes.
and he gets the Serpent, so he might be able to cover this. No sends coming through yet. 3 players on 5 workers.
Yeah, only Ruby not able to push the fifth worker because of his start. He will be able to get it at the beginning of wave 2 though.
And a
And
Snail would have messed up the Bounty Hunter.
yes, the Snell could have dealt pretty well with the Bounty Hunter here, but do you think that with the 20 cent here onto the Berserker, Ruby tries for a 6 worker here?
He has Atoms, so they're pretty good.
Yeah, Adams can do very well if he wants to try for that, but he must realize that Ashen is 5 worker here, so I don't think it will be the safe play to go for it, and indeed he does not go for it here. So decide to play it safe with 5 worker. I think this is the correct decision. And now we do have income sends again from Ashen and Aviator, only sending within the income though. But we do also have the Team Team going for the save yet again, and Archicum still yet to send to.
Yeah, he's almost at 80.
Yeah, almost 80 Mythium. Do you think it's wave 5? Both of them are looking so great on wave 5, but 0 to 5 is quite risky for Archicum.
They might just go 4.
Yeah, true. Serpent is not that strong on wave 4. Sometimes it's overrated a little bit because it takes 3 hits to kill a chicken, and so if you send Fiends, it can pretty much mess up the build from Ashton or even Imps.
Yeah, I think just because the Oathbreaker and the Bounty Hunter are a fortified tank, that the chickens will deal more damage to those tanks and get on that Serpent faster. So that Lizard does leak. The
Zeus
Zeus.
is pretty hard to not leak in the early wave, Especially when you push that heavily. The 5 worker from Archicum does work with Zeus, but without sending, you don't have the income to get this perfect split normally with Zeus that you see. But longer wave means more Mythium, and that's close to 120 before income here from Archicum.
Yeah, and especially before income here.
Does he get it?
No, they're waiting. They're waiting till 5. So do you see the values of Team 2 because they push so hard and the waves are going so long?
Yeah, the value of Team is just super low right now. Minus 135, minus 110, that is crazy.
Lizards are coming in. Wave 4. Robbie might be okay.
He might be, but just barely. The Lizard is quite strong against the Berserker on wave 4. And boosted Peewee as well. Okay, so the save continues. But what we see from Aviator and Ashen is just a perfect answer. They have the Serpent to help them on wave 5, on wave 4. They say, okay, if you want to send us on 5, I'm going to prepare for 5 with the Oathbreaker and the uh, Pilgrim. But a very small leak here only from Archicum, but a bigger leak than he wanted from Ruby.
Yeah, both leaks are still small. It's still anyone's game, and it's all weather these long saves. And here they come. 2 brutes onto Aviator
160 from Archicum onto Ashton.
on wave 5.
That's crazy, honestly. But what would it be? It's a pack leader on 5. I never saw this, honestly.
No one saved that much before.
But normally, what you see is more likely a Mimic, because the Mimic is a high DPS unit. And I don't know if it is that efficient to go for a pack leader on wave 5 with the amounts of units there is. But I really love the play from Ashton going for that Radiant Halo.
I think the damage type of the pack leader will just help kill those Oathbreakers.
That is very true. That could be the reasoning behind Archicum's decision to that extent. So let's see here. The action is on Ashen and Aviator here, but there can still be leaks on Ruby and Archicum due to the long save. So keep an eye on Ashen and Aviator, and I'll keep you updated on Ruby and Archicum.
So we have the Pilgrim going down. Brutes are dealing work. That's a big leak from Ashen, I think.
And the Ruby and Archicum are doing pretty well, but it will be a small leak from Ruby. Archicum does look like a hold here, so they are doing very good. And I lied here, Ruby is holding, and yeah, both of them are holding.
Yeah, the 2 Desert Pilgrims are just one of the best units on wave 5. The one brute does sneak through with a little scorpion.
So it will be king damage, but is it worth it here?
It was a long save, and if you can see it, the gold at the top, the left team is definitely favored right now.
Yeah, but you need to keep in mind, this gold does not account from the extra workers that there is currently on Ruby and Archicum. That is a total of 3 workers in their advantage. So that's 150 gold. And yeah, it's still very far behind Ashen and Aviator. But they do have the pressure advantage now.
No one sending on wave 6.
Do you know what I think will happen here?
Maybe a mole on 8?
No, it's gonna be a Fiesta on 7. Look at the units that Aviator has. Do you see anything good on wave 7 here?
I mean, they might go for the upgraded snake or boost some peewees.
Yeah, I mean, the best option should be a boosted veteran, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the quarter is very good as well, but when you don't have the front line to resist the big Sen, it just dies super fast, and the Sens are on 7.
Robbie with the double brutes.
So Roby with the double boots, but what does Archicum do here? Oh,
He might be leaking here too.
yeah, but it's a small leak. 2 Rokos, and they are planning to send here? I think that is totally fine for them.
Did Ashton push to a no send there?
No, he pushed after the Sen on wave 5 here. He just pushed more than the wave money. Push some of his income.
Yeah, he was holding about 40 gold, so he got 10 gold from a creep and then pushed another worker.
Yep, so they do go for income sense, but Aviator, I think that's the first time I see him not going for an income send here. And the quarters are on, or are they? Aviator deciding against it, or what?
Oh, he might go for the boosted veteran? Yeah, he does, in fact.
Ooh, okay, so might go double veteran? Or no, wait, what does it do with his
Oh,
gold now? Mass peewees? Okay, massing peewees. So, sands all around.
two boosted veterans.
Okay, so one boosted on Aviator and one boosted on Archicum, so that's very interesting here. Archicum is in trouble here, I do believe, against them all. But on the other side, Ashen still receiving a massive send here, and the brutes are still alive. And same goes on Aviator. And so we will see a leak here from our Aviator, not a small one, Archicum leaking as well.
Robbie, the only one holding?
Yep, and that leak is worth it for Ruby and Archicum. It is something that will help them come back from their long save from 2A5 early on.
Yeah, that's huge for them to get 3 brutes onto the king.
Yeah, Brutes is so much damage early into the king, and on wave 7, when the king is just troubled by those little blobs, it just gives so much time for them to kill some of the king here. And 41% HP on this, oh, 40% on the side of 75% all in.
Yeah, but Ashton did start with the king regen. This is his playstyle. Savior's in the game.
Yeah, it is not over. And with Savior, we do see also the Kingpin in the mid game from Aviator. So it just resets the game into a stage where Aviator is strong at. So it might be the play for Ashton and Aviator, but let's not diminish the importance of Embargo in that game.
It's true. And the income actually is favoring the right side team right now.
Well, that's the early push we saw, right? That pushing Italy, being playing very far under, going for those big sands. That's the difference that it makes to push those early workers.
Yeah. We're about tied for worker lead right now. Aviator with the most value.
Yeah, and I mean, Aviator with the most value just benefits him, right? He's able to get more stacks on his anglers. He has a lot of anglers, to be honest. His Bounty Hunter is dying very fast every wave, so this is not ideal for him.
He's close to 250 gold, so he could upgrade one of those when he thinks the send is coming.
This I do think Roby and Orca can go for income either here or on 10 to enable them to go for the embargo. Um, but with the okay, this is close to a leak from Archicum, but it is not quite. But no, it's not an income send. It is a full tryhard send on both teams. Even 75% all in, not going for income.
And there's your Mimic. So if we get the Mimic coming on the right side here, it might be able to kill a lot of these Peewees.
But the Mimic is not on Aviator, it is on Ashton, and that decision I have a hard time understanding.
Oh yeah, might be because the wave deals Pierce. He only has 2 weak real units. Maybe the Serpent, the Coiler, but
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can understand it if it reaches the Serpent quite fast, but will it be paired with a... Oh, it will be paired with a Lizard. No, DT. What? DT to distract the Radiant Halo, possibly. So I'll let you take over, because this is a big sin on both sides.
sure. We got 2 brutes right on the Kingpin already. Mimic's still alive, cashing in on 3 gold there.
On the side of Archivum, it looks like close to a hold, to be honest.
Yeah, they're looking good. We got a leak from Robbie. That's a big leak. Ashton actually looks like he's gonna hold.
Ashton
And Aviator.
as well. Ooh, ho, ho. That's the power of Kingpin.
So it's just Robbie.
No, Archicum is leaking as well, but small. In the end, it was enough.
3 imps getting through. So this brings Ashton and Aviator back into the game and likely on top here. Ashton with the biggest player score in the game, and this is gonna scale hard.
I think that caught Roby and Archicum surprised a little bit here because it is unusual for Ashen and Aviator to go for non-income sense before wave 10 here. And if it was purely income sense, then yes, Roby and Archicum were pretty safe here. But against those tryhard, not tryhard sense, but non-income sense from Ashen and Aviator just punishes their greed here with the workers and playing low value.
Okay, no sends coming out on 10. So now it's up to the spells. With Aviator being maybe weaker on 13, do you still think the Team 2 takes Embargo?
I do think that Roby and Archicum will go for embargo. They will be susceptible to a leak on wave 12 though, so they need to be careful on that wave. Uh, but the thing is, I do think that Aviator will go for Pulverizer, as well as Ashton. I do not think they will go for Savior. The reasoning is that they know that Roby and Archicum will try to go for a long save, possibly with embargo. So if you want to protect yourself, you cannot want to go for Pulverizer. And you know you're strong on 11 and 12 with the Kingpins. But the leak here from Arcaicum does extend the wave, and so not the ideal position for Arcaicum and Roby, to be honest. Very far under.
Oh, sends coming in. An Ogre on 11.
So let's see, the Ogre is onto Ashton. Not a fan of the Ogre, to be honest. So the reasoning behind why the Ogre is not really what I expected here is just it's not a tank, it's mostly a damage dealer, and on a ranged wave, it's just gonna tank before the wave or anything.
I agree. He had 200. He like he didn't want to. He didn't have enough for Ghost Knight, so
But let's see what are the spells they are deciding to. It's surely not embargo. Roby has taken the 4-eye. It looks like they will go for Savior here, and I think everybody is waiting to see if the other takes Savior. To take Savior.
they don't want to give away the King health. Oh,
There
here it is, all four.
you go. The same.
What?
Let's go.
So that 90 gold, they actually had a plan to spend it too.
Yeah, they did spend it all in the end here. But the sense is only on Ashen and Aviator.
So the ogre is finally down.
But if this does not result into a leak here from Ashen and Aviator, they have almost 400 Mythium to send on Wave 12. And Wave 12 is not looking too great for Arcaicum and Roby. So let's see what they decide to do. We do have a hold on both Aviator and Ashton.
It is a hold.
And no sends on 12?
And they're at 21 and 20 workers. Now both 21. 22!
Yeah, no, they're not messing around here. They want to put additional pressure, but it is not wave 12 as I expected here. They are going for 13 or what?
Yeah, they want the next kill to be lethal, right? That's the plan.
Yeah, the plan is to be lethal, but sending on their strongest wave is not usually the right play here. Ruby is quite strong on 13, and we do have the Berserkers on Arcaicum as well. So it will be interesting to see what they decide to do. There were no sends here.
Robbie is looking really weak on 14 with the King Claw, the Lord of Death.
They do. I do think you're right. I do think they can afford to go for 14 with the possibly Arc of Justice here on Ashton. I think it could be a possibility.
When everyone's saving for 15.
That's gonna be 14. Everybody's saving. There's the overinvestment into Wave 13 defense on Ruby and Arcaicum with the Fatalizer, the Hades. So it will be 14. They wanted Ruby and Arcaicum to overinvest in Wave 13 to be weak on 14, so I think that was the plan. But Aviator and Ashton, not the best on 14 as well.
They're doing some King ups. I think that kind of indicates they want to save a little bit longer. They're a little bit worried here. I don't know why. They are 300 and 500 under.
Yeah, the reason is that they did not receive any cents from Aviator and Ashton from wave 10 to 13 now. So it was a possibility that they took no, sorry, they saw the King HP. They of course did know that it wasn't embargo, but the long save here uncharacteristic of Ashton and Aviator.
Yeah, here comes the sends from everyone. So Aviator's sending a Centaur.
What do you think about the centaurs on both Ashton and Aviator against what you see from Roby and Archaicum?
I don't think Robbie has enough units for it to be effective, and the only arcane unit he has is that cat. He's building a second cat now. Third cat.
And now you see that there's way more units, and now the centaur does make more sense here.
Yes. From one cat to what does he got? 5 cats now?
And we have a full boost here from Archaicum as well.
Yeah, I just saw that.
And so the actions will be on Roby's and Archaicum's lane. They will surely leak faster than Ashen and Aviator. That does not look the best here, but they do receive the smaller sum.
And with 2 kingpins, I think just such a strong damage, it should be able to hold.
It's all about time for the Kingpin. Can you buy enough time for the Kingpin to do their damage?
Good games coming out. We got big leaks on both.
Yeah, more than 100%. This is way enough to kill them.
And they forfeited.
Out on Ashton, but a hold from Aviator. So it will be game one taken for 75% all in. So I'll let you update the scoreboard. And so yeah, the turning point was really that wave five not working as well as the team and team wanted to work. Like only the pack leader and the Scorpion League on Ashton, while only a Brute and a Scorpion on Aviator. Not what you're looking for. I do think that killed a little bit the game of Archaicum. They did have a glimmer of hope on wave 7, but Archaicum did leak quite a lot himself, so they had the King HP advantage. But then the wave 9 was the killer here. The Send was just perfect from Ashton and Aviator, shying away from their usual way of going income and going for non-income sends, punishing the King Claw from Roby and the heavily Swift Armor and Nature defense that he has. So I think that is what decided the game, because after that it was just pure pure outscaling for Ashen and Aviator, saving after receiving the 11 cent and just going for 14 instead. So I think it's a great showing that we had from 75% all in.
Yeah, and we expected them to win, maybe not this early. But I think the big difference was wave 9.
Yeah, wave 9 was the killer wave. That's where the game became really hard for Roby and Archaicum.
Because it was actually huge favor for Robbie. And then because Ashton and Aviator hold the wave 9 sends, Robbie leaks.
Yeah, that's the power of Kingpin. The sudden increase in value, just allowing you uh, to to have a sudden ability to hold waves you weren't supposed to hold before that.
But Ashton, because Robbie showed the Gnarl, and then he knew he was going Kingpin, so he just threw the imps on the board. It's really smart. Ashton's always thinking ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But I must say, I do think that Ruby and Archaicum got surprised by the non-income sense from from Aviator and Ashton. As we said in the group stage, we only saw Ashton and Aviator going for income sense all game long, and except from their last send. But now they just decided to match Ruby and Archaicum with the aggressive sense and punish them from taking into account that Ashton and Aviator only goes for income.
And they're changing sides now, so Maybe a little bit of strategy in there.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, the scoreboard will be inverted on that game, but you do have the names of the team to help you, so
I'll
should
try to
still
switch it
be
over.
fine. We do have to wait for Aviator, but once Aviator is in, we will be able to start the second match without any problem. So while we wait, do you think there's any adjustment that Robo and Archicum should do?
I think they did play it well. I think I'd like to see maybe an early snail onto Ashton. Maybe he might not get a 5 worker start that can hold a snail.
Yeah, try to. I think the key here is not try to start Ashton, but more try to bait him into pushing too much workers, right? So
Yeah.
that's two different approach, right? Because now you can long save to possibly go for a big leak, or bait him into pushing a lot of workers, so doing a partial send, and then resending something bigger that he did not expect. So surprise with the amount of workers you have. So I do think that is something that Archicum and Ruby could do to try and punish Ashton and Aviator, because they are known to push a lot of workers out of very little sense often.
Yes. So they need to get maybe a bait send or something and catch them off guard.
Yeah, so now, as I said, they've tried their usual strategy of long saving.
Yeah, and it almost paid off. Like that was a close game until those imps killed the king claw. Like that was really the difference. I believe in that first game.
Sorry, I'm just explaining to player. All right. So explaining to the players that quarterfinals are independent, and the semis will everybody will join on the semis. So every single quarterfinals are played individually, and then we go to the semi altogether. So game two underway here, and we do have a 1-0 going on the side of 75% all in right now. So Legion spells, I'm gonna let you talk about them.
Sure. So we got villain, venture, and everyone at the higher levels loves taking venture. So I expect all the players to take that. And is the last one sorcerer?
Yeah, the last one is sorcerer.
So that one might be interested if there's like a long save, just to get some extra value for 11. But I don't expect any sends on 10 this game
Yeah,
because
I don't
venture is in
think there
play.
will be any except if we see a flower from our Kaikum or Aviator. Sometimes people can greed a lot on wave 10, knowing that there's venture, and you can often go for a large amount of king damage on wave 10 if their build is not correctly built for wave 10.
So we got Robbie with the bounty hunter start now.
So trying to show Aviator how it goes here. But looking at what he has here, it looks like it will be a bounty hunter with steed, so a slower start. And he's sending to Ashton, so having a slow start against Ashton and Aviator, not usually what you're looking for.
So I'm not a big fan of the sandbagger or badger on wave 1.
Yeah, not well. It can be good when you receive a 20 on one. You can easily go to 5 worker and possibly 6 if you receive another 20. But look at what just happened here.
Robbie's getting saved on.
Yeah. So that's unusual here again from 75% all in to not send the king ups on wave one.
And is that aviator sending on to Robbie?
Yes, it is.
So he started with 5 workers, so his send is going to be massive, and bounty is a pretty weak unit in the early game.
And that's a 40 Mythium send before income if he wants to.
Oh my god, he just missed it.
Yeah, But okay, he's going for the 20 here. Um, a lot of repositioning from Roby, but it is finally this holds to Snell, so I do think that Aviator will just go for a Snell here and possibly a resend on wave 3. And Roby will be stuck at 4 Worker, I believe. With the units he has, it all depends on if he gets the steez or not. So let's see what he does. The wave does give 84 gold, and so with the amount of gold he had in the bank, pushing a worker means that he does not get the steed. So I do think he will not go for it.
Does push.
He does push.
So all players at 5 workers now.
So all player 5 worker, Roby needs to send to get a fire archer if he wants to have something decent. And he does
And
send
just
a
the
snail.
snail, he's saving 20.
Yeah, he just won the fire archer. Here you go.
So these might be a little bit of the bait sends that come in, and maybe Team might save a little bit.
When you're looking at the well, Ashton not rolling a lot of units, honestly, but when you're looking at what Aviator has and what Ashton has, where are you looking to send?
Oh, it's tough because like this is so good on 4. He's gonna change this to a devilfish on 4. They might save till 6.
Saving till 6. Aviator
It's
will
long.
have a canopy, I believe, for wave 6. But does the fire archer survive on Ruby? It will. So it will be close to a hold from Ruby. No, it will be a leak, but a very small one, to be honest. But we do have a hold here from Archaikum.
1 life.
Yeah, the Serpent and the Berserker. Berserker too far in front for the Serpent, because the Serpent is not able to snipe the Lizard on wave 3. So that's what happened. It was possible to leak Archaikum with a Snail addition also. So that's something to know. When the Berserker is that far up, that can leak easily to a Snail plus Lizard. So a bit lucky here.
So we got Fiends coming in. This is their send on 4. Fiend is going to be really good on this. Ashton hasn't changed this to a devilfish yet.
No, because there's a surprise consort here coming from Ashton, so this was hidden. So you don't need to go for the devilfish now because you have the split of the consort, so you need damage, and that's what the Seraphim gives you.
And 80 sends on 75% all in. I think they might be holds. And they're pinging the surprise consort as well.
Yeah, well, that's always when the enemy has the perfect answer for a wave. That's normally what you do, right? You're like, what is this doing here? He didn't have that, but
But
close to a leak from Aviator, but no.
oh my god, that chain fist right at the end is cleaning up some of those units.
But okay, 42%, still a good leak here for Ruby and Archicum through the income sense. But this was Ashton saving. Since when Ashton was saving here? Okay, he only did 40 on wave 3, and then he was saving the rest. He did not send on wave 4 to protect himself. Alright, so we do have the big send here from Ashton going onto our Kakum.
And Ashton with 8 workers.
The quarter. So does have the quarter. Does he had anything? He does have the snail. He wanted something like a DT here, but does not get it. Oh no, okay, he's going double snail. Oh, and the dino is on the berserker. I mean, everything's on the berserker.
Yeah, that's what you want as a sender.
Yep, and so this will be a leak from our Kaikum, and quite a massive one, to be honest.
Look at the snail doing work already.
So yeah, we will see a leak.
61. Full life dino.
it is on the higher hand of what you expect from a Berserker Serpent player.
But
That's just because nothing went onto the mask. So no extra time for the Berserker to kill some of the wave.
but this is extra stacks, right? All planned.
Yeah, I mean, stacks are is equivalent to gold in terms of bounty hunters. And I do think it will be enough damage to clear everything as well. It will be, yes. And in terms of worker, everybody's even here, and I do think that favors the Kingpin player in Ruby. As long as you are able to keep the game even when you're playing that unit, then you are in a good position.
Yeah, Robbie's in a good spot, but his ally, because of the aggressive push from
That's what
Ashton,
you need to do with Berserker Serpent, because your next weak wave is 9 right now. When you look at those units, it's wave 9. So you need to build up the pressure to force them into sending 8 or even 7 to catch back up in that value.
he does have Wanderer for 9 as well, so
That could be a good answer as well, yes. But let's see, when do you want to send on Ashen and Aviator now? You see a Canopy, you see a Radiant Halo. It has to be 8, right? But no,
they're going now. Yeah, they sell the Halo. Like, there's a lot of units on 7, and the Halo, sometimes the targeting isn't the greatest, so.
it's a split send.
And that's okay too. Like, Canopy's very strong, 7 and 8.
I mean, Canopy is strong on 7 because Wave 7 does very low damage. So this means that the regeneration is very strong on the Canopy. But on Wave 8, uh, the HP does not regenerate as fast for the Canopy because everything can attack the Canopy very fast.
So no send onto Aviator. Ashton has 2 Sandbaggers.
But that's against 2 brutes, and there's 3 brutes on Ruby against the Kingpin, so this might lead to a leak from Ruby.
Yeah, it's not looking good over here, but it's not the worst either. Ashton, Ashton's main damage is from the consort right now, it feels like. And we do have a leak on wave 1, or lane 1, and lane 2.
Yeah, Archicum not covering here, that is problematic.
Ashton just holds.
Just barely holds here, but that's a lot of king damage on Ruby and Archicum here. So it might just be the beginning of a 2-0 here, unless Archicum and Ruby find a way to come back into this game on the back of Ruby's Kingpin.
So we have an ogre coming in.
Okay, that ogre does make sense here, but will it be pushed into the split here? He does not get the brute to go with it, so it will go onto the main wave, and so can be targeted by the canopy quite early. So we'll see how it goes, but that can be problematic.
What do you think of Aviator here?
Well, yeah, he does have the priestess, so that helps to hold wave 8. But talking about problems, look at the workers of Ashton right now.
And he's getting a king up, so he might even push more.
It's not even a possibility, it is a fact that he will push more workers. And here, the ogre dying, but the wave on Aether it will be a leak in the end, but not as big as what Arcane and Ruby were hoping for.
Ashton on 7 or 15 workers.
Yeah, it's 16.
16 now, yeah.
I mean, he does look a little bit weak next wave, but he does get the bonus gold here. He will go here as well, so he will get the Wanderer. And the Wanderer is exactly what he needs for next wave, so he does not need more, he doesn't need less. I think it's a very nice decision from him to go for the 16 workers. And that's 6 worker ahead of anybody else in the game.
Ooh, he could have done 2 brutes, but instead just goes with some income.
Income is important in the Eye of Ashton. But let's see, what does he do here? He does decide to go for the concert instead of the Wanderer. So quite surprised by that.
Yeah, no sense coming on him though.
Okay, so building consorts instead, preparing for wave 10. I don't dislike it. And the Kingpin on Ruby, as you point out here. But the save here starts from Aviator. He did not send with Ashton. And how is Archaicum doing against this send?
Doesn't look that great. All he had was the Wanderer, really.
Yeah,
And it's not the effective of the Wanderer, because you want it to die and then kill everything while something else is tanking, and there's just nothing else tanking really.
yeah, exactly. That's just the long save not working for him again against Aviator. He was the one sending the 240 cent on wave 8, but that was just not enough to make any leaks on Aviator.
Yeah, but he's always been below recommended, and that might be a combo of Ashton pushing like crazy.
And him saving for a long time, yes, exactly. And now Ashton, just watch him go for income here. Oh no,
Yeah.
for the kill here. They are going for the kill. They want to prevent Robbie to go for a free venture. And you might ask me, why does this prevent the venture sending on 10? It all depends on the leak here. If Robbie is able to hold this massive send, he will be able to venture. But if he leaks any amount, he will lose so much gold that he will either not be able to push or not able to take venture. But that send is massive. I'll let you take over.
Yeah, so the idea here is to get the Dino in front of the boss so that the Berserker's not ramping up damage. So now the Berserker has to restart. It's such low damage that it doesn't really matter. It's dead now. The Samurai Soul is, yeah, one of the last units to die, so it's dealing big damage onto the boss, but still not enough there. And 2 brutes coming out on the Kingpin. He killed one of them, or 2 of them actually. 4 brutes, wow.
Yep, the Kingpin targeting the Brute early, then the boss, meaning that there's 2 remaining, reducing the attack speed of the Kingpin, and the Kingpin getting attacked early as well due to the damage of the Brutes. So this will be King damage.
They are still alive. They do have 300 Mythium each.
And they did push here also.
And no sends coming in. So do we see any ventures?
Now, they decided to push here to try and punish Ashen and Aviator for that send, but you need to hide this. You must not show this villain. If you are Robin Archaicum, you must not show the villain.
So Aviator building the Azeria because he believes the send is coming now.
Yeah, and we do see that Aviator will not take Venture. It might be text allowance on him. No, Sorcerer on the Priestess, but they are not showing it. They must not show it. Alright, nobody's showing the spells here. Except for Ruby and Archaicum.
Oh, they did put it on, yeah. Last second. They were worried, I guess.
I mean, with the value of Archaicum, I understand. But if you want to go for an aggressive play on wave 12, you have to take a risk and try to pro leak on Archaicum. Archaicum is already down. He's not the one who's holding wave 12. And so extra time does benefit you if you want to try and go for a counterplay on wave 12. Yes, it kills Archaicum, but he is so far behind that at this point you need to try for another play. But the sends are coming all around. And only income on Ashen and Aviator, trying to survive the big sun.
Yeah, Sorcerer is getting placed now.
And that's the right decision. Now they do have the extra power of the Legion spell. Uh, and I do like also the targets of the Sorcerer. Arc of Justice, better ramp up damage, and better healing and damage on the Priestess.
And Aviator actually just does King ups because he knows he's not going to leak the Bounty Hunter or the Kingpin.
Yeah, and that's the goal here from Ashton and Aviator. Just survive the big sand, and if you survive it, you have the gold lead. You have everything in the lead here. You are in a strong position, so just don't throw it, and try to reduce as much the damage you take on the king.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good idea, especially with Ashen. Look at his power score.
Yep. Wait, I say both are leaking, but look at Ashton just saying, no, I'm not leaking this wave.
Yeah. And he's pushing workers again, so he's ready to take over this game.
He's not gonna build a single unit next wave. He's gonna full push his income, and he's gonna go 14 big with Aviator. Or against the Kingpin, might be 15 big.
Yeah, they don't have any magic damage on the board right now. 15 is looking really weak for Robbie.
And we do see the push from Ashton. He does save some gold, so not full pushing. What did he decide to build here? He did build something. No, he's sitting on 200 gold. Not sure what he wants to to do with it. Maybe just shift, try to bait the opponent on thinking they full pushed.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing because he is over.
Yep.
Aviator's really over, but he did place an egg.
But that's the thing. Ashton is baiting the fact that he full pushed, showing less value than he can actually get, so that if they decide to send on 14 Ruby and Archicum, that is.
And I think they have to because their values are getting lower. They might just feel like they're forced into it and pressure to break this. Oh, the egg breaks on itself.
Okay, so that might. Oh no, they're still going.
Sun's still coming in.
They did push heavily on Ruby and Archicum.
Yeah, they're both at 20 workers. Compared to Aviator, it's a very big difference. I'm not sure Aviator wanted his egg to break there.
No, he did place the Chain Fist here to prevent too much on the Priestess, but it was indeed too much in the end. So yeah, the egg break not planned here.
But you can tell Team is just looking weaker, so they're kind of forced into sending, or else they're not going to hold.
Archicum pushed to no send as well. They know that 14 is their last chance. They know they're dead on 15. I mean that's the correct play because Archicum is just too far out of the game here. So you need to try for this kind of play at this point. But the canopies are coming out from Aviator, so not looking too weak here. Same for Ashton. When do you see two Iron Scales on 14? That is crazy. But let's see. I'll let you do the description here.
Sure, you got both the Samurai Souls right in the front. They're both going to die first, and then they're going to. The wave's going to start tanking, I would think, on the Iron Scales.
But that's pretty much how you want to use the Samurai Souls, right?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. So you can see, like, the left side doesn't have much damage. All it has is the Samurai Soul, and it almost killed everything there. And this Samurai Soul is still doing maximum damage. There's no leaks. And now 29 workers. Shaman coming out.
Ashton is not slacking on the amount of workers, that's for sure. At the Sense on 15, you see Archaicum, no magic damage on Ruby as well. It's not looking pretty. I mean, after building, Archaicum will be minus 1k. So that is smelling like the end of the game here. No matter what they
Yeah.
try to do here,
And Robbie can't save him even with the two kingpins. He just doesn't have any other sources of magic damage, really.
that's the only way they can come back is if they correctly predicted 16. But at this point, it's pretty much, yeah, if you go here, you win, no matter what we do. But if you go 16, that's our only way out. So,
So
so
he
in the
sacked
end,
the eggs, and good games coming out.
yeah, but that's the correct play here from Archicum. He's too far behind to try and hold something on 15. The only thing you can hope for is that they're sent on 14, beg them to go on 16, and if you want to be strong on 16, you do those eggs. But I mean, at this point, you're so far behind that you lead to almost nothing, and it will be game here for Ashen and Aviator, taking it 2-0 against Team Team.
So expected that Ash and Aviator win. They're usually on the top of the leaderboards, uh, but the first game was close, and I think it was a good game, good tries. These are the styles of plays, right? Ashton and Aviator were sending the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. But I really think that 75% all in did way better than than what we expected here. Just because you do have they were income sending, but at one point they just decided to go for non-income sends, but earlier than what they normally do. So that just caught everybody by surprise, I believe. And also the non-king ups on wave one from Aviator, also something to throw a wrench on the plans of the opponent. So very flexible team in the end here, not showing everything on the group stage.
Yeah, some different looks from Ashton and Aviator for sure, with the mole on 9 coming through. The power mercenary really paid off there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to see who has finished and who has not finished. So hashtag has finished their series against Kalmar. So the lower bracket is completed on the quarterfinal. I do see that Banana Boys and Trudeau's Henchmen are still going. I do not have any news about Green Dwarf against B Square.
Could we spectate X God's game? Like that one's not being watched by the other one,
Yeah,
right?
no, they are currently being watched
Oh,
by
they are.
the mainstream. So if you want, we can continue to go for Bastian Bonnie here, spectating them. They are the other quarterfinal going, and they are still in game. So let's go and spectate Bonnie here, if you want. So you can remove the scoreboard. We do not know what is the score here. We did not have a follow-up by them. It looks like they want to play out their game before showing the score. Uh, but it looks like it is the third game, I believe, according to the time that has been elapsed right now.
Okay, so we're joining on wave 9.
So
We have
wave
Sense
9 will be
coming in.
Sense. Yeah. So this is a spectator bug. There's only one mole on Bonnie and Basti, paired with the snails.
Yeah, it comes through correctly now. And Aquas are pretty weak on 9.
Yeah, and the mole just perfect against that, but he does have the violet to
Violet.
try and protect here.
I wonder if that boar was just added too, because it's tanking everything.
It's tanking everything, but very late. But that is explained by the fact that the Arcane was not boosted, I think.
Yep, we got a leak here.
But not a massive one, to be honest, considering the units he had.
Yeah, they currently have a little bit of a worker advantage. And they're saving 200 Mythium each.
Yeah, exactly. That's a long save. So that's an undercut from Bonnie and Basti to try and catch them off guard. And for an undercut, that is pretty underwhelming about the amount of sand, oblique, sorry.
So the Sen's coming in on 10 because there's no Creditor, no Venture on the board, and GA is really good for 11, right? Gives you a lot of extra value. So they decide to send on 10.
But 10 against Harpies?
Yeah, but there's also a Violet here, so that doesn't deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, so I do understand the Ogre against Basti, but the Ogre against the Sky Queen?
Well, you gotta get rid of the bunk as fast as you can, right?
Yeah, but isn't it better to go for a Pack Leader with a Brute? Because the Pack Leader can tank some of the Sky Queens then. But we will see. We'll see what happens here. There's still a chance that the Ogre tanks the Harpy, but it's quite unlikely. So let's just see what happens here.
Yeah, and Team 1 did go for income here, Bonnie and Basti. And Bonnie even did 2 king ups, so figured the send was coming.
Yeah, and we did have the Ogre tanking here, the Sky Queen, so that means it will be a league for the Sky Queen player in the end. And king damage. But yet again, not the biggest of league, but Tyrion. Ooh.
So based on the placements, I think Bonnie and Basti went 5-1 the day before.
Yes, 5-1. They lost to Still Alive. Yes.
So we're expecting them to be the favorites, but in this game right now, they might not have the upper hand. It's still close.
It's still close, but that's a massive league on Tyrion to just income sense, so that's not ideal, let's say, for Green Dwarf right now. But they do have the worker lead by a large margin here. But by a large margin, I'd say two workers, right?
Too, yeah.
So is that an indication that it will be wave 12 here that will come?
Magician on the Harpies, I would assume. He might save it though. He might not show it yet.
Yeah, Magician for Bonnie, but only Guardian Angel for Tyrion and Magician on Green Spirit as well. Okay.
So it looks like most people might decide to not show. Basti still hasn't picked.
Show.
Oh, you got Magician last second.
Yeah, he wants the Magician for those violets. I mean, Guardian Angel, decent on a violet as well, but Magician is just benefiting more units at once.
Basti also pushed the 2 workers late there.
Yeah, pretty late. So let's see. Will it be... The thing is, right now, the position where Green Spirit and Tyrion are right now is that Basti and Bonnie are covering themselves pretty well, let's say.
Yeah, Bonnie I feel like is weak on 13 with the bunk and the Harpies.
Yeah, but Basti
Violet
on 13.
Yeah, the Violet's really strong on 13 and even a tank.
And that tank is buffed by this Chieftain as well.
Yes.
It's quite a good setup for 13.
No sends yet. We do have Magicians getting placed now.
Yeah, but I do think Green Dwarf will be forced to send on wave 13, even if they don't want to. Because Tyrion's not looking great. Oh, wait, he has a Radiant Halo. So wave 13 will be a crucial wave. Who will send on it and who will skip it? What do you think? You think they skip it?
No, because Green Spirit's undervalued. He has really weak units. I mean, he's building Berserkers for it, but I think Green Spirit's going to feel the pressure and he's got to send. Yeah, see? Yeah. Everyone sends.
Whew, okay.
So bigger sends from the right side here.
It is a bigger send, and I do like something here. The Centaur from Green Spirit, very good against what Basti has. And the reason why is that those violets normally take aggro very late. But with the Centaur, you have a chance to kill them faster before the Magician takes effect. But let's see, it's still natural defense, and I mean the only tank there is the Yozora as well.
And only one boost from the Orchid there on Bonnie.
Okay. But he does have double Leviathan with Magician on 2 Sky Queens. So this is a lot of damage despite it being Pierce.
Are we seeing leaks from every wave? Looks like this will leak. They just killed the Centaur.
I mean, that's a soul leak.
Oh, that just killed the Centaur. This isn't much of a leak over here.
Is it killing the witch? Oh, no, just barely. What's this king spell? That's immolation. That the witch will die pretty fast here.
So it's actually about tied.
I mean, I do think that Bonnie and Bassi takes more king damage from that because the witch is now dead, so that's one unit that's pretty much useless.
But look at the 17 workers on Bonnie now.
Okay, the pressure is on, but doesn't that make him vulnerable in wave 15 though?
I think his answer is just a boost. And he's starting to build the arcane defense. So.
Yeah, okay, so let's see here. What are the green dwarfs doing here?
Basti has good magic damage.
Yeah. But we did see that Green Spirit did not push a single worker here. Even Tyrion did not push super hard.
Yeah, I think they want to hold it. They want to hold 15, I think, but their unit composition just isn't the greatest.
Well, we do have the boost from Green Spirit potentially. He does have the Sky Queen with a lot of damage, but the Shaman. The Shaman's always something to be afraid of, but it doesn't seem like Bonnie and Basti can reach them.
They did push hard. I feel like Team 1 does send here.
I mean, that should be their play. Wait, Green Spirit and Tyrion are going for
Income.
And yeah, they are going, but Bonnie going for only income here again, with only the DTs.
And I don't really like, is the witch going on all these aquas?
Yes, the witch is going on the aquas here.
So the witch might survive, but if he had more aquas, that witch would be useless.
Yeah, so the idea behind the build of Tyrion is to kill everything except the boss, and try to have this Arc of Justice ramp up into the boss. But with these units and that value, I don't think it's possible.
No, and that's why they upgrade the king a little bit.
Okay, so full income here, and we'll see if everybody is holding or not. I mean, if people are leaking to income sense, that's pretty much a starved game by quite a large margin. And Bonnie is reaching the boss with his 2 Sky Queens buff the Leviathan.
Yeah, Team 1 looks like a good hold. And just the boss is coming through on Team 2.
And it is the boss also coming through on the side of Bonnie and Basti. But okay, so that is quite close.
Very close game, yeah. More king damage on the left side.
Yeah, the bosses are higher HP on Green Spirit and Tyrion, so they do take more king damage. So it will equal out the king HP on both sides.
Wow.
So now it's just a question of what is the best decision? Is it to full push? Who's the strongest? Who's pushing? Who's saving? Bonnie's full pushing.
I think you want to go 17 against Basti.
You want to go 17, but why is Bonnie pushing? He's the one who's supposed to hold.
That's true, especially with the Banana Haven on 17. I think they just want to race on 17. That's what it's looking like.
It's because Bonnie doesn't have a choice to full push here, because if he does not full push, those are boars on Green Spirit.
Yeah.
So Bonnie has the Haven, but he will be undervalued, while Green Spirit will be close to value. And he will spam those boars. The only thing he needs to realize is delay. They need to delay. more than Basti. And Basti not the strongest next wave either. That will be a close one. That will be a very close one.
Yeah, I think Basti's going to be leaking quite a bit if the sends do come through.
It's just playing out the race. Like you cannot explain it differently.
Green Spirit does not send before income.
That's the correct play. They realize it's a race, so they need to go for the big send here.
And the Witch.
The witch is good against nature defense, though those pilots will melt to the witch, so I really like this send. It's way better than the ogre, to be honest, because it does prevent the Leviathan doing damage as well. But we'll see here. It is a race in the end. Bonnie going for the big send onto Green Spirit. You do have the board spam, as we predicted. We do have some of the boost.
More boost on Bonnie's side.
Alright, so I'll let you take over. This is a race situation, so we'll need to look at more wave than none. So I'll let you take over.
It's hard to say. Like, Bonnie has the best units for this wave, but he did overpush. He almost does look like he's holding, though. If you see that, it looks really close.
I mean, the Sky Queen Leviathan does so much damage.
And this is almost a hold, too, from Green Spirit. Tyrion's for sure leaking, and the Kings just don't have. Bonnie holds.
Bonnie holds. There's a leak on Tyrion. There's a leak on Green Spirit.
Wow, so Team 2 will die.
Yes, and Bonnie is clearing the middle.
So Bonnie's push, because he had the right units and he boosted full, manages to survive and carry his team to victory.
That's such a bold call with the Sky Queen being able to cover 17 even with the full push here. Quite impressive. Well, that's just knowing what unit is strong on a certain wave, right?
Yeah, great. Bonnie played that well. Bonnie deserves that win. That push.
Yeah, that push was a was crucial for Bonnie as well to leak Green Spirit. If he does not push, he does not leak Green Spirit, and the game goes on. Or maybe it's a race in the middle between the Harpy players.
Yeah. Did you expect Bonnie to hold 17 after that push?
After I saw that push and how far under he was, I was really expecting a leak. I think that himself he expected a leak. But I do think that if Tyrion goes after income for something like 4i or go for the Witch himself, he has a better chance to leak Bonnie.
Yeah, that was a good game. Do you think there's any other games left?
I don't think so. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I see them all in lobby still, so I'll have to check the Discord to see the updated rankings.
It looks like B Square won, but I don't know the score.
So hashtags advancing. 75% all ins advancing.
Yes. And you do. I'm just asking Bonnie what is the score. Okay. So it was a 2-1 between B Square and the Green Dwarf. So close series, and we did see in that game that it was very close.
Yeah, that game almost came down to the wire there.
So yeah, see the only game that will soon be finished is the one of Snack and Snack X God, Adamus and Medicine. They are yet to present their results, but I do have it on screen, so we will see as well very soon. I see that the game is finished, so
Yeah.
we will know.
I just looked in the match history. I'm seeing that X God lost twice. So Adams and Witterson.
All right, So that
advancing.
means that we do have our two semifinals. Let me just contact Penny. Um, uh, yeah, you can continue talk about the team. You know the lower bracket matchup, hashtag and 75%. You can talk about them as well as the upper bracket, which is B Square against Banana Boys.
So B square. So Bonnie versus Banana Boys. So I think Banana Boys definitely have an advantage. They won the high elo in house league.
The Banana Boys, yes.
So that I would think they're the favorite to win this game, but you could see some upsets. I mean, King Dan's is still in the runnings. Bonnie making some good calls like he just did. You know, he might be able to upset them.
Yeah, but that's the knowledge that he had with RP is just so impressive, knowing that he's super strong on 17 and it's knowing that he can push those workers. So I'm currently contacting Penny to know what when I can join him. Looks like he's alone in the tournament. Caster voice. So I might leave you here. I'm gonna contact you to let you know what gonna contact you to let you what semifinal we can cast if you decide to do so.
Sure, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll cast the other one. You and Penny cast one, and I'll cast the other.
yeah. So thank you very much. You can take a break. I do believe they will go out for a break, a 5 minute break between the semifinal. Let me just confirm. Okay, there will be a confirmation probably in tournament lobby to see if there's a break. All right, so I'll be joining Penny. So thank you, Shea, for casting with me, and good luck on casting the semifinal as well.
All right, yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me, and yeah, I'll catch you later.
You did a good job.
Thanks. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna be taking a break to catch up to the next games, the semifinals. So again, there's the main stream happening, and then I'm just gonna cover the other game that is happening. So small break. We'll catch the other semifinals, and then there's only gonna be one stream for the finals. We just gotta take out the screen of where Shadow was. And we could hang out. So if we look at the leaderboards, actually, um, Witterson and Adams are ranked 1 and 2. They're both on the same team, the Banana Boys, with the banana icon here. And they just beat rank 4 and rank 7 in a pretty dominant 2-0, I would think. I just looked quickly through the replays there. So other teams advancing was Ashton Aviator, and Aviator was tied for X God basically last season for the rank 1. So Ashton Butcher, I mean, if you look at his profile, he's already won some Masters Cups, right? So he knows what it takes to win. His previous ally, King Dance, who hasn't played a lot of ranked games, but again is one of the best players in the game, and again knows what it takes to win the Masters Cup. So It'll be interesting to see if Adams can get, you know, one of these Master Cups in here, because he's got silver and he's got the in-house Legion. But is he going to win the big cup and the prize money that comes with it? Uh, we know Witterson, one of his favorite starts is the Priestess. And Adams, one of his favorite starts, the Bounty Hunter. So in this game, they've got, two of their favorite units. Interestingly enough, they leak huge on wave 7. Half their king is gone. And for a Bounty Hunter or a Kingpin to leak, I mean, he had to sell 2 units to get the Kingpin? Or no, sorry. He had the Grarl. So Kingpin coming out. Yeah, leaked. So 40%. But after that, I mean, their favorite units, they're scaling. They have more workers. And they tried to long send, but they only have 10 workers. So what can you do? They just weren't able to leak them again. After wave 7, the long save that they had didn't pay off. It wasn't that long of a save. It was a very good play, but Witterson and Adams just know they don't have to build anything after that. You see their value doesn't go up at all. They just push workers. And Bonnie and Basti, that's the 4th team. So it'll be interesting. 4 very good teams left. We have 1 game open so far. So it looks like I'll be casting the Banana Boys versus B Square. How many viewers do we have? 98 for the main casting. Okay, so we're doing. Is it Bonnie? Let's make sure I got this right. Okay, Banana Boys again. 1, 2. This is who we're casting. 1, 2 on the ladder. Winners of the Legion in-house league. That was basically the last biggest tournament that was just on. And silver in the Masters Cup before. So he's been to the end, hasn't won it yet. But he's ready to win it. Masters Cup 6 silver and 7 silver. So Witterson's, I want to say, like a little bit newer to the game. I mean, obviously he's one of the best players, ranked 1 on the ladder right now. But I don't think he's played as much as some of the others has earlier on. And, he's hungry for the win, I think. 5, 6, 7. right? So we could say he started, really playing around season 5. Whereas if we look at, like, Adams, he's already doing really good season 2. So Adams being, a longer, more skilled player, uh, maybe not more skilled, but I mean, really good. Then we have Bonnie and Basti. So where's Bonnie? He's got to be in green here. So Bonnie streams a lot in the mornings, maybe evenings for you guys. Has been to the Silver Master Cup before. Has reached legend status. So I'm just gonna check. They don't have the Dams, yeah, the Banana Boys. So they're almost ready to play. So Bonnie being the highest level in here. If he could play as well as he did last game, they might have a chance. Pro- Profit. All right. So this is the semifinals. Winner of this goes to the finals, guaranteed silver and a badge. So this game is huge. Best 2 out of 3. I I tried to fix them on the profit. Okay, so they had the wrong mode picked, so we're just restarting it. Okay, so 2 greeds coming in, 3 greeds, 4 greeds. Okay, king spells, savior, hero, and I think that's magician. So there's no huge offensive spells, which is quite interesting. I think we'll see a lot of wave 10 sends because these give you so much value on wave 11, right? So you want to get those sends in before they get this extra, spike value, I guess, on wave 11. So no one's picked anything. We have a nice start from Bonnie, it looks like, with potentially an egg. Basti hasn't pushed workers yet. Is Bonnie gonna go Nightmare? Did Bonnie do a reroll or something? I didn't see Nightmare, but yeah, he doesn't really want to start Berserker, but it's his best option. Because that's going to give more time to the egg. Basti definitely is going egg. 20 sends all around from everyone. 5 workers here on Witterson. So Witterson is going to be sending onto the Serpent. Or, sorry, the Berserker. Bonnie's 3 workers right now. 5 on Witter, 4 on Adams. And Witter should be happy on those 5 workers because he knows there might not be a lot of pressure from Basti. As soon as he sees this egg. So Bonnie building 1 unit just to try to be safe on 2 so there's no leaks. We're talking about placement. Right? To defend, he needs to take an Atom. It would be nice if the Atom holds maybe about 4 units. Witter does a king upgrade. Is that what I see? Yeah, Witter does not have enough Mythium, so Basti is probably really happy with that. Oh, it goes onto the... Never mind, it's on the Berserker, so Bonnie's actually happy with that. Bonnie, hopefully will know that he won't leak wave 3 and jeopardize this egg. The dam sending onto the egg still has 40. He's sending a turtle now. Which is maybe the right call. Sometimes you wait till the Berserker after income. You have the Atom. Is this going to be too close? I think it might be too close. I would want to put this half a square back. The risk is if you lose this Atom, you have no damage. Witterson pushes to 6 workers because he knows the egg has no pressure on him. So everyone else probably holds. Oh, the Atom takes the perfect amount of aggro. This is looking like a hold. Oh, but the egg sac does break. I wonder if Basti pushed. Basti not happy with his egg breaking. I wonder if he pushed. I didn't really quite see, but did he? Like, he surely could have got more value than just an Atom. Was this just after income from Bonnie? So the Fiend will deal more damage to Swift, right? More damage from Pierce. These are doing less damage. Finally, the tank's down. The Gate Guard's not very strong here. That's going to be a pretty big leak, it looks like. So this helps Basti out with his broken egg. He's back on 6 workers. The guy sending on to him just leaked, so he can't really push. So I would say it's a tie game, and maybe Bonnie and Basti even have a slight advantage. Bonnie sending already, trying to scale. The Dams can't push. Big send coming in. We got a Drake coming on to the Hydra. Hydra's broken. Basti's got to build something. Oh, Basti might be leaking this. Oh, he's got the Serpent in the top. I didn't see that. Is that going to be enough, though? He's preparing for 6 and 7, or sorry, 7 and 8, because that's the weaker waves, right? The Hydra is his main tank, and Magic just destroys it. Oh, and actually the Drake is going over here onto the Berserker. So the Drake is getting through for sure. Harbinger is enough to hold. So now Bonnie with the big leak, and that definitely favors the Banana Boys. So Dams did not push there. Got the Harbinger. Made sure he held. Now they have the advantage, I would think. Okay, so because they just sent last round, no need to panic here, right? Don't expect any big sends to come through, right? Everyone's has around 80. But when's the next send? So Canopy's pretty strong on 7. Harbinger's pretty strong on 7. The gang's more mana back, like every time a monster dies or a creep dies, and there's a lot of creeps on 7, so Harbinger does more spawns. Canopy has the perfect defense, and it just regenerates. The wave doesn't deal a ton of damage. So one snail coming through, that must just be for 196 gold. So what is he going to do with that? Oh, 195, he builds the sandbagger. So sometimes it's important to just send that extra just so you can build a unit just to make sure you hold this, the next wave. The big sends look like they are going to come through on wave 8 though. Harbinger, because wave 8 deals more damage, so it does kill some of these units that want to survive a little bit longer. The Banana Boy's coming out with a banana bunk. So Bonnie and them, B squared, realize the banana bunk. Banana bunk's kinda, I don't know, it's really good on the next couple waves. They're still gonna send. So Dams is getting 2 Fiends. Again, Fiends are gonna run in front, tank, and kill the Arcane because they deal pierce damage. And Bonnie gets the most income from it. So Adams is sending all the sends coming through. So a lot of lizards onto Bonnie. They want to kill that sandbagger, badger. We got a fish and a deep coiler. So the cat hopefully will get their tank a lot. No moles coming out. Okay. It's be interesting to see if the dams can hold. I think Witterson holds for sure. Like all these units get damaged because they're attacking the banana bunk. And then there's just not much left, so the canopy can clean up. The cat is barely still alive. That's decent split. He would have liked his serpent to live a little bit longer because it deals the most damage, but this isn't looking like a too bad of a leak for B square, but you don't want to leak if you don't have to. Banana Boy's holding. Oh, and perfect holds from Bonnie and Basti. This is a pretty close game. So there's a very tiny slight advantage to Bonnie and Basti. Or sorry, to Adams and Witterson. Team 1 has a slight advantage. And remember, there's no... the king spells here aren't, like, very... There's no venture, there's no creditor, right? So sending on 10 is fine. And these spells, they're all spells that will buff your defenses on 11. So the power spike on 11. So I wonder if we will see some sends. Adams does look a little bit weak on 10. Deep Coiler's really good on 10. We got a Berserker, some good tanks, so these guys are good on 10. I wonder if everyone skips it and tries to do something else, like 12, 13. A Banana Bunk is weak on 13. Okay, so they are sending 10 on the Banana Boys, and we have a huge bunk. Banana Haven coming up. So the boss is going to reflect a bunch of the damage. And the life pool is almost, 8,000, so a lot of damage. No boost coming up. Witterson had the perfect gold calculated. What is Adams going to do? Oh my. He sells the APS to get an archetype and 1 gold left. Wow. Okay, well, actually he just built that. He was deciding. So it wasn't actually a sell. He didn't lose money for it. But he does get the big tank. And we do have a leak coming out from Witterson and some shutdown gold. Lucky dragon spawn, but it's not going to help. So we have some king damage from Bonnie and Basti. And now they have these king spells that will hopefully be helping them hold 11 and 12. So they are looking a little bit weak, 11 and 12. I'm not sure which one Adams and Witterson want to send. They have 200. Over 200 to send. Looks like they're going to wait till 12. You can see Basti and Bonnie are getting a little bit undervalued now. Adams and Witterson pushed. 17 workers on a Witterson. So I'm expecting big sends on 12 here. I wouldn't be surprised that Bonnie and Basti did some king here. They need to survive the next wave. Hero over here. We've got a hero, but he's going to hide it. He's going to put that APS back. Probably. Witterson taking hero and still hiding it. Basti taking the 90 gold from tax allowance. So it's kind of funny that Savior gives you the same money, I believe. And he could have got a tiny bit of king life, but then they would have known one of them takes Savior. So they could see the king life go up. So sends all around coming. Witterson with the imps. So Witterson's on Bonnie, and yeah, a couple natural units here. Imps are going to just kill those. Imps will definitely kill the Hydra as well. So wave 12 on its own deals a lot of damage, and if you pair it up with the pack leader, does even more damage. But they don't have any, big tanks following it. Basti going for just income. Gets a banana haven of his own. Well, we see the boost coming in. Basti upping the king. Some late boost coming in there. Boost here. So everyone's undervalued. Bonnie's the most undervalued. And big sends here. 420 send, 460 send. And a lot is coming through on Basti's lane. A lot on Bonnie's lane. Basti only sent kind of income and king up, so that holds. And Banana Boys are holding well. There's a lot. 17 units going to the king. So when a lot of units go to the king and there's no king spells, it's going to deal a lot of damage. Do have immolation, which helps a little bit, but yeah, their king is pretty low. Witterson on fire. Basti almost out of the game. Does he have magic damage for 15? Bonnie does. So when is he going to build the Fire Lord? That's the question. Okay, so Ocean Templar is in the middle there with the hero buff. Ocean Templar actually 14 and 15. They deal magic damage, and the Ocean Templar has like almost like an aura that reduces some of this magic damage. So it's actually really good on 14 and 15. 15 even dealing magic damage is going to be good against the natural armor of 15. So Witterson looks like he's going to be holding. He just built the Doppelganger, which deals pierce damage, which is pretty good on 14. And he has the Banana Haven, a couple other tanks, right? You just need time for your Doppelganger. Basti, unfortunately, leaking 3. 2 of them at 1 life to no send. Team 1 has worker advantage. So Ocean Templar coming in. We have Lord of Death here with MPS. So the attack speed of all these units is going to be amplified. I don't think Adams and Witter are too worried right now. Being minus 200. Okay, no sends. I assume a lot of sends are going to come in on 15. I don't think the Banana Boys are leaking 15. Ocean Templar is just too good. We're going to have a Hades here from Adams. So Dam sending the Shaman. Went to Basti. I almost feel like Bonnie and Basti might have to do some king upgrades. They need their income now, so they are sending. Again, at 18% life, I don't think there's a good chance for them surviving this. Is this a skin? So Bonnie boosting. We have some boosts coming in. Some hardens. Some late king upgrades coming in. So the Kraken is going to the two players. No, it's going to the Lord of Death here, which deals damage, and it's going to Bonnie's lane because he boosted all those orchids. So Bonnie's saying good game. Big leaks here. Did look like Witterson was going to leak that, but they were going for the victory. And look at this spike up after 12. So what happened on 12? These guys leaked a bunch, and the Banana Boys did not leak. So game one for Banana Boys. All right. So that it still was a close game. Adams and Witterson just predicting the right calls and came out on top. So Bonnie and Basti have to win this game to continue. Let's see if the Dams puts on Mastermind. So I'm not 100% sure on their like play styles, but I think Adams and Witterson, like to get a little bit of income. Seems like everyone's ready. Bonnie and Basti are sometimes just good at predicting when they're good at predicting when they'll send. If they get those defenses, they could scale. So I think that's the secret for Bonnie and Basti is just they need to predict which wave or how to defend Adams and Witterson. Okay, greed coming in from everyone again. Let's see if Bonnie goes for the egg. Actually, Bonnie and Basti both have potential egg rolls. So we saw it barely didn't work out before. Adams is probably going to start with Priestess and Witterson with the Bounty. So Dams really likes the Bounty. Witter really likes the Priestess, so it's a little bit swapping role. So Priestess, Bounty. Oh, they're not going for the egg because they lost with an egg, they feel like, at the start, so not doing it. Snail coming into the Bounty Hunter is not going to do anything. So Bonnie and Basti not taking the egg, don't want to risk it like they did in the first game. Although that first game was close. I think they should have still went with the egg. So everyone's spending 20. 6 extra gold for Witterson right now because of this snail. And Witterson pushing to 5. So to hold 2, all he has to do is put 1 unit on the opposite wall. It's possible for this to leak to a snail, but it's really not that bad. And he wants to save up to try to get maybe double warg. Because Adams is weak on 4. So double snails are coming in. This is an interesting, bold move, because sometimes even a snail at the start of the game, giving them that extra 6 gold, allowing them to push more workers in scale, can change the game significantly. So a snail does sometimes leak this priestess. It looks like Adams just got really, really lucky. Again, the split on Witterson. He holds. And the advantage now is to the Banana Boys. There's no pressure on them. They received extra gold from those snails. Those snails were after income, right? So Bonnie and Basti are just collecting that 6 gold now, while Adams and Witterson had that 6 gold already as soon as they killed that snail. So it is small. It is still early in the game. Now the Banana Boys are getting their income here, but both the Nightmare and the Berserker are weak on 5. So we'll see if the Banana Boys are shaping up for a 5. 5 cent. We do have the king up, so Witterson not doing the king up. Has 40 in the bank. Oh, he does send. So he sent to get 80, right? And he wants 80 out to build the steed. So sometimes, again, it's important not to leak your opponent, but just get the right units down so that you defend. The steed is going to help get more stacks on the bounty hunter. So double wargs coming in wave 4. This is Adam's weak wave for sure. There's the steed. 1 split. This is all you have to do on wave 4. I don't think Bonnie will push to 8 workers with that snail coming in. And Actually, this Atom sometimes is pretty good in front of the Berserker because it'll take, like a lizard or something, it'll take some of the damage while the Berserker gets in front and then tanks. So we have no sends coming in yet. Oh, just a turtle. So Bonnie did not push. He's got this chain fist. So yeah, if Bonnie sent a snail, he could have got an extra worker and then pushed while still getting these double Oathbreakers, which has the perfect defense. He doesn't want to mess around, so he built a gargoyle. So we got no sense coming in. The dam's next weak wave is looking like 7. We know until you get the Kingpin, you're not super strong. And more Mythium on the side of B squared. So Sen's coming in from Adams and Witterson again. And they're looking a little bit undervalued, maybe 100. So 85. Nightmare, it's swift, deals fast damage. Not perfect units. Berserker is really good on 6. You got another tank, you got some damage dealing. So just the Sens coming in on this side. Will they hold? This is looking like a pretty big leak from Basti. Leaking from both, so they're holding on to their Mythium too long. They're becoming undervalued, and they're leaking. 80% on Bonnie. And it's unfortunate to see, these Rockos with very low life, because that is a lot of gold. So now the Banana Boys don't have as much push, but they're going to gang so much gold here from the King. And actually dealing a lot of King damage. Ogre coming in. The King's still at 64% life. So with the Dams, again, this is really, he has some really weak units here. I'm not sure about the Sens. So we do have the Kingpin up, but is that going to be enough? The Banana Boys know it's coming here, so they upgrade the King. Witterson above value with his Kingpin. Okay, the Ogre is pretty good send. It's killing everything. I like that. I like the Ogre on the Priestess. Big leak there. 92. That's even bigger than what Bonnie and Basti just leaked. But the Kingpin does look like it's holding up. Oh, just barely dies. But this is probably a hold. So Witterson is pushing workers. He's getting huge this game. Adam's stuck on 7. I think he does want to push. So as soon as he got that gold, boom, he's pushing the worker. A little resend coming into Witterson, just for income. Right? It's hard to leak a Kingpin early, and he didn't greed for the stacks. He knew the send was coming, so he wanted to secure as much value as he could, right? Get the Kingpin even if it's 30 stacks, or sorry, 90 stacks. Okay, so everyone's kind of on value. King damage is kind of equal. Witterson, and just because he held last wave with the Kingpin, seems to have a big advantage. I don't like the extra snail here. You're not leaking Witterson, that should be a king up, right? You're giving him 6 gold, just like we talked about at the start of the game. Handing over 6 gold. It's small in the early game, but it really starts to scale up. And because the send is not working, all the pressure's gone from the Banana Boys now. Banana Boys are pushing workers, saving Mythium, and Bonnie and Basti are going to have a really difficult time in the future. So when do the Banana Boys send? We know Berserker is weak on 9. We know Nightmare is weak on 9. Green Devil does not help on 10. He's going Lost Chieftain, so he's buffing the Green Devil. So they're not far under just yet. So I don't think we get a Harden in here. When's Basti going to build? He's just placing it slightly differently. No Hardens coming in. So overworked on the board. Witterson with 15 workers. And Bonnie, like, his Nightmare is damage, but other than that, he doesn't have much. So Bonnie's feeling some pressure. He wants to just push for some income. So big sends coming in all around. Adams isn't the strongest. Alpha Male does decent, and he has 2 of them on 10. Kingpin really good on 10, deals lots of damage. He only has a 1 stack Lioness in front of him. I wonder if gold was an issue. I think he wanted to get his Lioness here, but it's just the way it's working out. He has to build something. Harden's coming through here. We do have the Doppelganger, but that is a huge send on Bonnie. So far the Centaur's on the right side, so it doesn't do a ton. Centaur is going to kill these gargoyles pretty fast. And all of his tanks are dead, so his damage is getting, but I mean, what you kind of want for your last unit to be the one dealing damage. And Starcaller, very good unit on 10 as well, but the sends are just too big. And you can see Witterson, 400 value above. So Dams does leak. And that Kingpin actually almost leaked. So the King surviving on Bonnie and Basti. A tiny bit of King damage. We see 19 workers from Witterson. I wonder if we'll see overworked. You want to hit this as soon as possible. So overworked coming through on Team 1. That means they're collecting a lot more Mythium right now. But on wave 12, it slows down. With only 18% life left, they're pushing workers like crazy. They don't mind leaking. They want a long wave 11 because they're going for the kill on wave 12 here. So Hero coming in on Basti. I believe Bonnie's still hiding it. I wouldn't be too surprised if a small leak came through here on wave 11, just because they pushed so hard. And the Mythium they're getting, I mean, they have almost double the Mythium right now. Bonnie and Basti probably see this, so they want to get that income because they know what's coming for them next wave. And is this a pro leak from Adams? It's very close. If just one? Wow. Yeah, I don't think you get more pro of a leak than that. Right? Basti knows. Big sends are coming. So we have Centaurs coming in. We have pack leaders coming in. And Witterson doing imps as well. So yes, the Green Devil does have a lot of damage reduction, but Pierce does a little bit more damage to it, and this wave is Pierce. Harden's coming in. They're healing up the King. They spent all the money they could. So right now it's just about survival, Bonnie and Basti. And they know that the sends are too big. 600, 520. Basti's towers are all done. And there goes Bonnie's. So Banana Boys will advance to the finals. 92% leaks on both. So the other games I believe are still going on with X Squad, Aviator. So you should hop over to the other stream, the main stream, because the final's going to be on there. Banana Boys advancing to the finals against the winner of either Ashton and Aviator or King Gans and Cyajin. So those two are playing right now, and Banana Boys 1 and 2 will face the winner. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I know I got a couple follows, so thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Shadow's probably going to put some of this on his YouTube. But yeah, thanks for watching some of the Masters Cups, and enjoy playing the game. You know, keep playing, tell your friends about it, and let's have fun. Let's support the community. Okay, bye for now.